Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I'm going to start with your unit 8, which is congruency of triangles. Okay, so we have studied about properties of a triangle and its properties, right? In chapter, different types of triangles and then different properties of triangles, angles of a triangle, etc. So in today's this unit, okay, today's class, we are going to see about the congruency. Before we start up with the congruency of triangles, let's see what does congruency means. Okay, understand this. So congruency, it means it can be, you can take two figures or two objects. Okay, so you will say that two objects or two figures or anything, two things, they are congruent only if the size, okay, and also shape, if the size and shape of them is same, then you say those two objects or those two shapes are congruent. See, I have a circle and a square. These two, the shape itself, it is different, so I will say that circle and triangle, sorry, square, they are not congruent. Okay, now if I take two circles, okay, of same diameter, okay, for the circles to look at the congruency of the circle, you will measure the diameter, right? If the diameter of both the circles are same, then you will say they are congruent. That means basically shape is same and the size, that is diameter, circle size is same. When do you say? When you measure the diameter, right? Now for square, you will measure the uh, or square or rectangle, you measure the sides, right? If the lengths of these sides, they, for them both are equal, then you'll say they are congruent. Okay, now now any object, like I have 10 rupee notes. Okay, I have two 10 rupee notes. All right, so how do I know that these two notes are congruent? How can I say they are congruent? I will just place this triangle, okay, on this, sorry, 10 rupee note I will place on this. Okay, this one I have just placed on this, like this. Okay, so what happens, it is covering the lower notes, so that means they are of same shape, we can see they are same, and also size is also same. How can we verify? Just placing that upon each other, isn't it? Now if I have 10 rupee, one 10 rupee note and other as 5 rupee note, we see that the shapes are same, right? Now we need to check whether the size is also same or no. How do you check that? I will place this 5 rupee note on this. You can observe that thus this will not be, sorry. Okay, so what do you observe when you place that this 5 rupee note on this? It will come, it will not cover up the total 10 rupee note. Okay, so this shows that the size is different. So your 5 rupee note, okay, and the 10 rupee note, they are not congruent. Two 10 rupee notes, they are congruent. Okay, whereas one 5 rupee note and 10 rupee note, they are not congruent. We can check it just by placing this 5 rupee note on top of the 10 rupee. That is 5 rupee note, it's not covering totally till the ends of 10. So that means its size is different, isn't it? So we will say these two notes, they are not congruent to each other. All right. Okay, now can you tell me, do you have any congruency of yourself? Yes. Yeah, one thing is when you look yourself in the mirror, okay, the size the shape, it's all same in the mirror, right? When you look yourself, your mirror image, so you can say your image is congruent to yourself. Okay. Now some mirrors will have like concave or concave, and different mirrors you have. So in that, sometimes your image will become big, okay, your face will become bulgy, okay, that time you will say it is not congruent. Okay. Sometimes it becomes shrink, isn't it? I hope you have observed this. Okay. So that time you will say it is not congruent, because the actual size and shape is becoming different when you look into such kind of mirrors. Okay. In the normal mirror where you look at your image, okay, normal image, that kind of mirrors will that image is congruent to yourself. Okay. I think that was the best example I could give you for the congruency of yourself. All right. So congruency is what? It is just you need to have same shape and size as well. Okay. Now let's see about the congruency of a line. Okay. The congruency of lines. So it's again you will measure it with length. Okay, shape of the lines will be the same. It we need to just check the length. If the length of this line, AB line, is 2 centimeter, and this also 2 centimeter, we will say AB is congruent to CD. So congruency symbol is this. So what is our congruency symbol? This is the symbol you need to represent for congruency. All right. uh, uh, like this with two lines. All right. Now what is the congruency of angles? So angles congruency, what will it be? I have two angles. What is angle? Angle is formed whenever a line is there, and to this line, if some other line is making an intersection, okay, at certain point, okay, so then angle is formed. Fine. So similarly it can be with any other shapes as well. So once some angle is being formed and you measure it, if after measuring, if the size of this angle is same as this, then you'll say both are they both are congruent. Okay. So if suppose this is 60 degrees and this is some 45 degrees, then you will say these two angles are not congruent. Okay. I have got one more angle shape, something like this, of two lines. It is 60 degrees, so this angle and this angle, they are congruent. All right. So the measure of angles you need to check, whereas for line you will check the size, length, okay, length of a line. And for the measure of an angle, you will check for angles to be congruent, you need to measure the angles of the lines, or anywhere wherever the angle is formed, you need to measure them. If both the measures are equal, then you will say they are congruent. All right. So congruency of a circle is how do you define? You will measure the diameter of the circle, and if it is same, you will say that they are congruent. All right. So I hope you all understood what is congruency. Okay. When does the two objects, we had seen different examples, different objects, okay, or images or figures. So these are all figures, and I have two 5 rupee notes, that is an object, I can say. And different examples we have seen of a line, of an angle. What does the congruency mean for all these things? Okay. All right. So now it's time for us to look at the congruency of triangles. I think before that, I just wanted to make you all clear about two things. For the lines, okay, usually you'll have confusion in that. So concurrency, Okay, see, congruency is, I've just explained you all. Congruency, it is all about if you have same shape, okay, and size. All right, now what about concurrent lines? Because when you hear about it, sometimes you feel like concurrent is same as that of congruent. Okay, they are different. Let's see, lines, we say concurrent lines or congruent lines, they are different. All right, so concurrent lines are, you'll have three or more lines passing through a single point. Okay, look at this. I have a line AB, okay, and also I have a line CD and one more line EF. All right, EF, they are all passing through a single point called O. Okay, so the single point at which these all lines are intersecting is called as point of concurrency. O is called point of concurrency. All right, so these all lines are called concurrent lines. A, B, C, D, E, F lines, they are called as concurrent lines. All right, because they are all passing from a single point, point of intersection, you call it as O. Single point, you can say, they are all passing through a single point called O. So concurrent, you will say concurrent lines only when you have three, okay, or more than three. All right, so you can have many lines passing through the single point. So all these lines are called concurrent lines. They are in a plane. It's a 2D geometry, this thing. In a plane, if all the lines are coming and passing through the single point, all those lines in that plane, you call them as concurrent lines. Okay, now you may get confused with the intersecting lines. Intersecting line mean you will have only two lines intersecting at a single point. Okay, I think intersecting lines you have already studied in this class as well, in the previous class as well. Okay, don't get confused with the concurrent lines and intersecting lines. Concurrent lines means they are going through many lines. Okay, three or more lines, they are passing through a single point. What is intersecting point lines? Only two lines, if they meet each other at a single point, that is point of intersection, you call it as intersecting lines. All right, so I hope you are clear about it. Concurrent lines are different, congruent lines are different. Okay, so in congruent lines you will measure the length of the line, then you will say that they are congruent. Okay, when the lines which are passing like this, okay, so these lines are called as what? Concurrent lines. Okay, the lines which are passing through a single point, these all lines are called as concurrent lines. All right, intersecting means only two lines are meeting at a single point. All right, I hope this is very pretty clear now, and you'll not get confused whenever you hear about concurrent lines and congruent lines. All right, so I just wanted to make it clear. Okay, now because when you study further about congruency of a triangle and concurrency of a triangle, okay, that is different. Concurrency is, we will see one by one. Okay, what about congruency is different, concurrency is different. Concurrency of a triangle is what we have studied about, what's that, your altitude and median, right? So how did we draw the median? So you have from different vertex. Okay, if I draw a median is what, which is cutting at the opposite side and at the midpoint, right? A line passing from any vertex of a triangle and cutting at the midpoint of the opposite side, then you say this is a median, right? So this is one more median and this is one more median, right? So what is happening? Three lines, okay, three medians basically, which are lines, are cutting, we have drawn it, and they are meeting at what one point. What was this called? This was called as centroid, right? So concurrent lines of a triangle are the medians which we are drawing, okay, and they are meeting at a point called as centroid, that is the center of the triangle, okay. So the centroid is a point of concurrency where the three medians of a triangle intersect, okay. So this is about the concurrency of a triangle. Alright, so basically concurrency is what? Three or more lines passing through a single line, a single point. So here three lines are passing through a single point called centroid. So this is of that of a triangle. So triangle की का जो center of point है, that is G, we will represent this with G. That is the point of concurrency of what? Three medians, isn't it? Of a triangle. All right, so I hope this is clear. If you have any doubt again regarding these points about congruency and concurrency, okay, congruency and concurrency, all right, you can just get it cleared in the class. These two are different. All right, concurrent, congruent. All right, repeat these words if you're getting confused, and just you can see now in this unit further about the criteria or for the triangles to be congruent, that is congruency of triangles. This chapter is mainly about congruency, okay. Now since normally we get confused with the congruency and concurrency, I have explained it clearly, the difference between them. All right, now let's move on to the main topic of this unit, that is the criteria for congruency of triangles. You have three criteria for the congruency of triangles, okay. The first is SSS, that means, what's the time? I think we will stop till here. I'll just tell you what are the three criteria. SSS means side, side, side. Second is side, angle, side, and third is angle, side, angle, okay. We will look about this in depth in the next video, inshallah. Okay, until I meet again with the new video, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.